I don't want to.
Okay, looks like most everybody's piling in. Thanks again. Well, we're at the end of our night. It's been phenomenal. I want to thank Tim personally for including me in this event and all the great people that took part.
That might be.
Oh, that was it. Okay. All the great speakers that took part and everything, and everybody who's here. It's a group effort, so we thank you very much. 2013, yeah?
Yeah.
I always get the dates mixed up.
Yeah. 9 long years.
I know, 9 long years I have been blessed with the presence of an incredible man. We actually invited him over to Little Traverse Bay Parafest, which I'm going to throw a plug out there, that we did announce that we are bringing it back. So, unfortunately, not until April 29th of 2023. So, but we definitely want to do that. And there's so many other great events, and we actually have 4 events being represented here tonight, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We've got Old Mill. We've got the Michigan Paracon up in the Sioux. That's always a winner. If you've never been up there, do it. Yeah, it's well worth it. It's a great weekend. Great people put it on. Brownie points. And then I said, and what do they call that? Midwest Parafest? Yeah. Midwest Parafest. Chad and Heather are here. So,
John, somebody brought up today that all of these promoters are here, and I brought them all in, or I have them here, and I said, I'm not stupid. No. Yeah. I got to get to events somehow.
Well, Michigan definitely is the best place for events. And Pawtographs, definitely the best place for Pawtographs. But anyways, we brought Tim in 2013 for the very first Pawtographs. He was recommended by his agent at the time, who he said 4 agents, and fired them all. And so
that's true.
He's currently not represented by an agent. If there's any in the room that want to risk it, have him. Look him up. But even before we had our event, I talked to him on the phone numerous times because he had put on events before, and I knew that we could get some insight from him. And even before we met in person, I felt like we're brothers already. So, and then his sidekick, I was able to work with years later.
Just texting my daughter, sorry.
Oh, you're okay. So wonderful people. I don't want to waste too much time, but we'll let him get to it and get everybody emotional. But again, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
And I love you like a brother.
Love you too, buddy.
And we all appreciate you. And I think that we also need to, I really want to say to Michelle and Jimmy over there, the stuff that they do every year in every Pawtographs event.
You're stealing slide 24 from me.
What I can do. Okay, when we get to slide 24, just skip over that, disregard it. But I personally want to thank them because I think it's phenomenal the things that they do. So then I'm going to turn it over. Before I ruin any more slides, I'm going to turn it over to one of my favorite people in the world, who I love dearly, Todd Arnold. And then there's Tim.
After he called you my sidekick.
Hey, I know, for real,
Yeah.
huh? That's great. I love it.
All right. So thank you for waiting that out. That was the longest introduction ever.
For real, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, give Cassidy a mic. You never get it back. All right. So first of all, before we get into this, I'm going to say thank you a bunch of times. Today's been a rough day for me. And a lot of you have asked me how I'm doing. My Molly passed away in September, and I met her right out there and shared nachos with her. And it's been tough being here. I had chicken nachos Thursday night, and I didn't share them with anybody this time, even though RJ was giving me puppy dog eyes. But yeah, let's get into it because I'm not ready to cry yet.
Yeah, that's not till later.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, this is really all about you, isn't it? How did we get here?
It usually is.
Yeah, 2006 on the fear that consumed Tim. His name is literally in the first bullet point. So why he's having me say it, I have no idea. It didn't consume me.
I just wanted to hear you say my name.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim, you want to take the first point?
Sure. I moved into the house in 2006, and a lot of you in here, you know me and you've heard the story. But I feel like we got to tell it for maybe the one or two people that don't know it. I moved into the house in 2006 and started experiencing activity for the first time in my life. Had no idea what was going on. The fear that consumed him is a little overboard, but I did call my mommy. And she told me to go see what it was. And I'm pretty sure she's watching right now because she said she was going to. And I used some colorful language on Mother. Because she's a chicken shit and she wouldn't go look. So I was dealing with things in the home. We'll get into the other things that were happening in my life at the time. But basically found paranormal television and specifically Ghost Hunters because I'm a wrestling nerd. And there was a commercial for Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi. Started watching the show. They mentioned teams in my area or everybody's area. I went and looked, contacted 4, and none of them got back to me, which is a blessing in disguise. As I probably wouldn't be here today. Somebody had come in and said, hey, this is what's going on in your house, yada, 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 yada. It forced me to educate myself. And after about a year, somebody said, hey, why don't we start a team? And it wasn't him. It was guys that are going to be in slide 3. And then
Did John spoil that one too? John?
Yeah, yeah.
We're good.
John, you want to tell that story?
Really?
Oh,
There he is.
But we decided to start a team because if I'm looking for help and can't find it, there's got to be other families out there too that are looking for help. So that was the reason for starting Fox City's paranormal team. I put the clicker down.
Smart.
Yeah, that's what they call me.
Smart.
It's slide 2. How did it all start? Well, first of all, Chris has a green thing growing out of his crotch. And I
That's the best reaction we've ever gotten off that. That's great.
I finally got a yellow extension cord.
Yeah,
back.
so you can stop complaining.
Yeah, well, that's the last we ever saw of that cord. The last known knowledge of that cord is in Todd's hands, and then it was gone. And then there's some VHS tapes, which we'll get back to.
Touch on it a bit, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. I'll let you do that.
So the first investigation was pretty archaic on our side. I don't know, do you want to pop back real quick for that last one? We'll just kind of point some stuff out.
I would love to do that for you.
Would you please?
Yeah.
I mean, we do it every time we do this.
We do it a lot.
We use a lot of, well, nowadays we got nice little IR cameras, tripods. We got digital recorders that we throw around the place. Really nice rolled up wires that run to everything. The DVR system, really nice equipment. Back in the day, I believe we brought that TV, that big old tube one up top. VCRs. We had the tube TV VCR combo. We brought like 3 or 4 of those things.
We had 4.
Yeah, VCR tapes, reel-to-reel recorders for the people that are older than. Never mind, we're not going to get to that.
Older than dirt.
Let's
Like John
just
back there.
insult everyone here. Yeah, for their age.
John's raised his hand, so
Old school. But yeah, that's the stuff we used back in the day.
Investigative style, we copied what we saw on TV.
That's fair enough.
I mean, it's fair. We were very interrogating. It was question after question after question, and there was no point to try to get to know the spirit. Try to talk to him like a regular person.
It was more of try to get results.
Yeah, and we should go back and you could point at Matt.
Oh, Matt is, well, this is, well, I was so young, less great. But yeah, so this is Matt, this is Chris. Matt, okay, so on our way to our very first investigation, it was February of, I don't know the date, but it had, well, like almost like a record snowfall or something like that. The roads were terrible. Tim drove, I was in the passenger seat. Chris and Matt were in the back. As soon as we got there, we pulled in. I was the first one out, just happened to be that way. And I kind of did a little slide and, hey guys, please be careful. It's very slippery out here. Matt was the second guy out, took one step, he went horizontal and completely ate shit.
It was mostly funny because nobody liked him.
He wasn't a great person.
No, and for some reason he's following the Pawtographs page.
Is he really?
Sorry about your damn luck.
I just learned something.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not. I thought you said he was.
But if he is, I don't know what he's doing.
We're just gonna bitch about Matt for the next stuff.
Yeah, he was an awful person.
He was all right.
The beam.
The beam was also on my end. I don't know if any of you have met Tim and I. We're tallish.
They can see us.
I guess that's fair enough. Yeah, we're gonna fight in front of all of you. No, but so we were doing the initial walkthrough of the home, and we were in the basement, and the ceilings weren't super high, and there was one particular I-beam that I had eyed up, and I'm like, that's going to give one of us problems, right? Going into the first round of EVPs, Tim and I had finished up in the basement, and at the time, Tim actually had a flashlight, something he never carries anymore, and at the time, I did not have one, and I always carry one now, probably because of this incident. We went to do a rotation. Tim walked in front of me, and all he heard was thud, son of a. Yeah, and I just completely ate that IV. So this is now a piece of safety equipment. I suggest everybody wears them.
And then the drive home, you remember more about that than I did.
The drive, okay, so we drove home the exact same way we got there. Tim was in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat. Matt and Chris were in the back. Now, when we had got there, I brought a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. Didn't know what to expect. I just figured, hey, we'll get all caffeined up. We'll do this thing. So on the drive home, I'm like, Tim, if you need a drink, please take one. I got plenty left over. He said, oh, I'm fine. 10 minutes later, the guys in the back are sleeping. I hear the rumble strip. I turn over and I look at Tim. He's like, I'm good. So for about 10 to 15 seconds, I was the only person awake in that car. Tim was promptly, I guess I'll take one of those sodas now.
It was still a snowstorm at the time.
Yeah, it was still coming down.
Oh, this one's a fun one.
Really?
Yeah.
Put me in a bad light on this one.
So the story of how we got called to this investigation isn't funny, but the aftermath is hilarious.
Mostly for Tim.
It was a family member of mine, and her boyfriend had taken his life in the yard. So they asked us to come in because they were having things happen at the cottage. And if you know anything about me, you know, that's pretty close to my heart. And if you don't know anything about me, you can get ready in the next 20 minutes. So we went outside to where he did this, and we're doing EVP. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, heavily wooded area.
Yeah, and I would guess the woods are probably 20 feet away from us. And we're standing there in this spot, and I'm doing EVP, and I'm a Wisconsin boy, and I know what deer sound like. So it sounded like I heard a deer were coming through the woods. So I didn't think anything of it. I just continued my EVP. After about a minute and a half, I turned to my right to ask Todd a question, but he wasn't there.
I thought it was a bear, Tim.
He left me to die. He left me to die. I look over and he's 50 feet away from me, standing at the front door.
I was in the doorway. Yeah, I got ghosts, spirits, spooks. I got your back, but bears, I don't know. I'm sorry. Hey, Todd's a survivor.
Yeah,
right? I ain't playing
at that point, I realized where our friendship, where the line was.
Yeah, bears.
Yeah, bears are on my own.
Bears are the line. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm not saying I tripped my own wife to get away, but I'm just saying
You probably would. I did that in Dundee at Old Mill Parafest. That was the first time I told that story, and it was hilarious because I told people to go and harass Todd online, and they did. And one lady took it to the extreme. It was like she sent him a message, and she's like, "You're a shitty friend, Todd."
yeah, I had no idea. I took a screenshot. I said to Tim, I'm like, I'm going to tell this lady to go herself. Like, who is this? You ever remember? I'm a pretty nice guy, but oh man, she lit on fire.
He said,
I was so mad.
I'd given him a heads up of what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But this lady was so
Man.
angry. Yeah. Anyway, so we should get to the other stuff.
I guess.
The Kewanee Inn, you don't know what that is, most of you in the room. It's a haunted hotel in Wisconsin, Kewanee, if you can believe that. We used to do a lot of events there, and then it got sold, and then it got shut down, and then it got sold again, and we haven't done events there in quite a time. We did events there, so we did investigations, and we found that the sound travels, I would say horribly. They had all of these claims. It was 4 stories, and we had somebody in the basement, and they sneezed, and we picked it up on the 2nd floor recorder. We also were in an enclosed room talking to the spirit that apparently haunts that room. And we had a recorder at the end of the hallway sitting on the floor. We captured the entire conversation in that closed room. So
They're like whispering too.
yeah. Well, so when we used to do events there, we would, because you know what you do in a hotel, like half of you, But anyway, so I would warn people, April and Braxton,
Oh, just call them right out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, I would warn people during our presentations that the sound travels really well here, and there's a lot of people that are recording in their room, and you don't want to give them extra noises. I should also throw in there, I'm not saying it's not haunted because people want to get really upset if you rag on the hotel. We could skip. Oh no, we can't. I had it in there for a reason because John was with us on that one.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that's the reason I put